Hey guys, in this video, we are going to talk about the downside of streamlining your home. I know, it seems like a weird topic for me to cover on this channel, but let's face it, streamlining your home isn't for everyone, and by the end of this video, my goal is to help you decide if it is for you or not. If you're new to my channel, I'm Kassy, and I make videos about how to add 7 extra hours to your week through streamlining your home. Now, if you're a mom and you think 7 extra hours a week sounds amazing, then you should subscribe down below and ring the bell next to it because I would love to see you on the next video. All right, let's go ahead and get started. So the downside of streamlining your home. This isn't something we cover a lot on this channel. I think there are a lot of upsides to streamlining your home, but I want to make sure I'm presenting a balanced view of the subject because there are some downsides, and those downsides may be enough for some people to decide that streamlining is not for them. So let's go ahead and get started. The first downside of streamlining your home is it takes time. Whether or not you choose to streamline the slow and steady method or the express train method, it's going to take some time. With the express train method, it takes a lot of time up front, time that you may not think that you have. And with the slow and steady method, it doesn't take a lot of time up front, just 15-20 minutes a day, but it is going to take a lot of time over the long run because you aren't going to get to your goal quickly. So if you aren't willing to commit any time to the streamlining and that is just not something that you are able to do, then streamlining would not be for you. The second downside of streamlining your home is it takes some planning, and you can't just jump in and start randomly streamlining different areas of your home on different days. Well, you can, but I wouldn't recommend it. So you have to, before you start, sit down with a notebook and your calendar and figure out when you are going to start, how much time you are going to dedicate to each area that you will be streamlining. Remember, there are 4 pillars of a streamlined home: decluttering, setting up routines, meal planning, and budgeting. And you need to decide how long you're going to give each of these pillars to complete. And you want to look at your calendar and figure out when your start time is for each one, when your deadline is for each one. And you also need to figure out a plan for how to tackle each one of the pillars. If you just say, okay, I'm going to declutter from this date to this date, and that's all you write on your calendar, it's going to be really hard to get that done because you need to figure out and plan, what am I going to declutter first? And then what? And then what? Same with the routines. You need to figure out which routine you're going to set up first, and the next, and the next. And same with meal planning and, of course, budgeting. So you need to have an overall plan, and then you need to have 4 smaller plans covering each one of the pillars. And if this sounds like something that would just cause you more stress and anxiety than living in a home that isn't streamlined, then streamlining may not be for you. The third downside to streamlining your home is you have to do the thing. No matter how much planning you do, nobody else is going to show up at your house and streamline it for you, unless, of course, you have a lot of money and somebody that you would like to pay to come and streamline your house for you. But for most people, in most situations, you're going to have to do it yourself. Although, side note, if you have a lot of money and want someone else to streamline your home for you, let me know. I love streamlining other people's homes, but for most people in most normal situations, you're going to have to roll up your sleeves and actually streamline your home yourself. That alone, for a lot of people, is enough to say streamlining isn't for me. I do not want to have to go through all of my things and make decisions about everything, whether or not I should keep it or declutter it. I don't want to have to figure out my systems. I don't want to have to figure out my meal plan. And if you are one of those people, then streamlining is not for you because you really can't streamline if you don't do the work. Now, I personally think that it is so much more worth it than it is work. If we were showing on the scale how much work it is versus how much worth it is. But I also just told you that I enjoy streamlining. Yes, it's a lot of work, but there's something in my brain that sees it all kind of as a big puzzle, and I love puzzles, and figuring out which things are going to remain in a home and be loved and cherished, and which things are not is a bit of a puzzle to me. Figuring out which routines are going to work for which families is a bit of a puzzle to me. Same with meal planning, same with budgeting. So that is something in my brain that isn't so much of a drudgery that would make me not want to streamline. For some people though, that may be super stressful. And with the stress and with the overwhelm that goes along with making those decisions, they may see the amount of work as this much and the amount of reward as this much. And if that is the case for you, streamlining is not for you. It's okay if you don't want to streamline your home. You don't have to. You can live a very happy, fulfilled life without doing it. I just find for myself that my life is happier and more fulfilled, and I have so much more time than I did before once I streamlined my home. The fourth downside to streamlining your home is you have to actually complete the project to enjoy the benefits. So it can be really easy to get discouraged, to get bogged down in all of the steps that it takes to get there, and you may feel like it's just not worth it, and that's okay. It is a journey. It is a long journey, and it is hardest when you are starting this journey. It is going to take the most time. It's going to take the most effort. It's going to take the most grit right when you start out, and that isn't easy. It is not something that just anyone can do, and it's not something that just anyone can do on a whim. You can't just decide, oh, I'm going to do this, and then go and do it. You have to have some deep motivation to get to the end of streamlining your home. Now, I've never personally known anyone who has gotten to the end of the streamlining journey and regretted it. However, if it seems like you would not be able to climb that mountain without completely losing steam, and you would never be able to finish the journey that you started, then you might as well not start, because otherwise you're going to give yourself a lot of stress and overwhelm for nothing. You will have to be willing to go the distance with streamlining your home if you want to reap the results. The fifth downside to streamlining your home is you have to do some strategizing. Even if you complete the pillars in the order that I suggest, you're still going to have to make sure everything works in harmony together. You'll need to be doing gut checks along the way to make sure that you are decluttering enough, but not too much. You'll need to be checking your routines as you set them up to make sure they work and you aren't being overly ambitious with the amount of cleaning that you need to do, or that they are age appropriate for your kids when you're setting up their checklists. And then you'll need to really strategize when you are setting up your meal plan and make sure that it works with your week. Again, if this sounds like something that would be overwhelming and frustrating for you, then streamlining is not for you. I think it is worth it, and once you get through this strategy phase, you really don't have to do it again. There are certain parts that I update every year just to make sure the chores my kids are doing are appropriate for their ages, and also to make sure my cleaning routine works with their chore checklists. But I never have to sit down at the drawing board and start over again. However, it was a bit of work when I initially set it up. And like I said, if that sounds overwhelming and like it would be more work than it's worth, then you may not want to streamline your home. And that is perfectly okay if you decide not to do that. The fifth downside of streamlining your home is you have to choose a path. You can't simultaneously be streamlining with the slow and steady approach and with the express train approach. You're going to have to decide which path is for me. Am I going to go all in and get this done quickly, or am I just going to work on it little bit by little bit until I get it done? Only you can decide which method would work best for you and your situation. And if making that decision sounds overwhelming and you aren't quite sure what would be best for you, then at this point, streamlining may not be for you. Until you can make that decision, you really can't move forward with any of the other steps. Now, if you have listened to these downsides of streamlining your home today and you thought that sounds like nothing compared to getting 7 extra hours a week, and I'm ready to go all in and streamline my home. If you feel that way, you should check out my brand new membership program, Total Home Transformation. In that membership program, I walk you through every single step from start to completion of streamlining every pillar in your home. Plus, this program is designed to help you cross that finish line as quickly as possible. If you would like to join this first cohort of total home transformation, be sure to do so quickly because it will only be open for registration until May 19th at midnight. Then I will be closing the program and not letting anyone else in for at least 2 months. I haven't exactly decided when I will be opening it up again because I want to make sure that this first group, these founding members that will be going through the program, have all of the attention that they need as they get their first and possibly their second pillar set up and streamlined before I think about adding any more people to the membership. So if you decide to join, I will see you on the weekly coaching calls, and if not, no worries. I will hopefully see you on the next video.